7 வருஷம் ஆயிடுது. இன்னும் குழந்தை இல்லையா? You've been married 7 years and you don't have a child yet. I heard these words all the time when I was in grad school. In those 7 years, I got a PhD in engineering. I published 7 papers. I presented my work at over 20 conferences. I got a job at a prestigious corporation. All of those accomplishments negated by that one phrase. Good news, Ilya. Isn't there a good news? I got asked all the time. My mom got asked all the time. My family got asked all the time. The good news isn't that of my career and my accomplishments. No. This good news is the birth of a baby. And guess what? I was infertile. As women, we are already isolated in the workplace in so many ways. I'm a STEM professional, so I can speak best to my experiences in this field of work. On an average, women constitute less than 30% of the population in STEM. Mid-career, half of these women who come into STEM leave the workplace. No points for guessing what the reasons are. It's typically childcare responsibilities that come in around that age for women, whether it's by choice or by design, and that's a whole different conversation. Now, add infertility to that mix. 1 in 8 women suffer from infertility, for the most part in silence and isolation. Imagine that you're at a party and you can't find anyone you know to have fun with, and nobody's asking you to come and play and have fun with them. You're just watching in silence. That's what being a woman in STEM feels like a lot of times. Now, imagine you're at the same party and you're locked in a room and there's a glass wall around you. You can see all these people and they're having fun and your favorite song is playing, but you cannot join the fun. That's the isolation of being infertile in STEM. I spent my childhood in India and most of my adult life in America. The two countries are so different from each other. Both the cultures are so unique and so beautiful in their own ways. But there's one thing I've noticed is common in both of these cultures, and that's the shame and isolation of women who experience infertility. We are put on a pedestal as women as the creators of life, and the minute that it's identified we cannot do that, it all crashes and burns. It doesn't matter what your accomplishments are. It doesn't matter what you've done in the society or your family. You're not good enough. Part of it comes from the external forces around us, and part of it is in our heads, right? It's years and years, hundreds of years of conditioning that makes us question our own worth. Don't get me wrong, if you want it, being a mother is great. I'm a mom of 2 today, and it's absolutely the best experience of my life. However, if it's an illusion that the society has created to hold you back as an individual and as a professional, playing to the narrative that you are only fulfilled if you are a mother, or you are of value to only if you are a mother, or you are complete as a woman only if you are a mother, we need to break free from that isolating notion and reach out. Let's switch gears and talk about infertility and leadership and career advancement. Typically, a woman experiences infertility between the ages of 30 and 40, maybe 45. Think about that time in your life as a working professional. That's right when you've proved your worth as an individual contributor. You're ready to take on the challenges, ready for the next level of responsibilities, ready to be a formal leader with a formal title in an organization. Ironically, that's exactly when our biological clock is fighting our career clock. It is what it is. What can we do about it? Let's take a 360 view. What can I do? What can leaders do? And what can my colleagues do? And let's break all of those 3 pieces down. What can I do? If you are an individual experiencing infertility, get comfortable with talking about it. That's the only way to get out of the isolation. When I was going through my infertility journey, I did not talk about it with anyone. I went above and beyond myself to walk into the office a day after my miscarriage every single time I miscarried and pretend nothing happened, and sit through multiple meetings pretending I'm okay when my back hurts from the 100 needles that have just poked me. I'm not sharing this as a story of strength. I truly am not, believe me. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I wish that I had spoken about it. I wish that we would all do better as a society at showing our vulnerabilities in the workplace. That's the only reason I'm telling you this. Showing our vulnerabilities serves 2 purposes. Number one, it raises awareness about what's happening around us. It helps people get compassionate and build empathy. And secondly, it helps create a tangible system around you that helps you, it lifts you up and helps you to stay on your course, whatever your journey may be. Let's talk about what we can do as leaders. Now, I strongly believe that every single one of us is a leader in everything that we do, but specifically in this context, I'm talking about leaders with a formal title and with resources at their disposal in an organization. What can you do as a leader? Invent policies, invent ways to foster collaboration and support in your teams that helps these individuals. Something really tiny like you don't have to be specific about which hours you're in the office over the next 2 months can go a long way for the women who have horrendously frequent ultrasound appointments during infertility treatment. Something big and major, like continuing to remind them and show them the path that they were on, that they started their careers wanting to be on, what were their ambitions, helping them visualize the leader that they can be in these organizations and the impact that they can make. Continuing to reiterate that for these women going through the journeys can play a big role. Continue to inspire them with their own stories of things that they have accomplished when they are in the middle of questioning their own worth on so many levels, going through what they're going through. If you are a woman going through infertility and looking for a thriving career, yes, you can have it all, and you can have it all in your own terms. This is your choice to make. And never let anyone, not even that voice in your head, tell you otherwise. Teach others around you how to work with you. Teach the leaders around you how to be compassionate and empathetic and the role that they can play in making sure your career grows at the intended velocity, whatever you choose to do, whatever you choose that velocity to be. We all have a role to play in helping each other emerge from this isolation. The reality is that you could go through all the treatment in the world and have all the support at work and your family and friends and not come out with a human at the end of the story. And I had to tell myself, that's okay. It doesn't mean I was half a human as a result of this. My worth is not defined by just being a mother. I had to remind myself of my academic and professional accomplishments, the skills and the grit and the determination I had to accomplish what I did in my life, how loved I was by my family and my friends, the value I add in the society beyond the ability to procreate. So the next time someone says, good news, Ilaya, I could just educate them that maybe we need to change the definition of the good news.